right. Good morning, everybody. Let's see. Today is June 27th. Monday,
Yes.
June 27th.
Yes.
This is Dr. Simon's Metabolics and Weight Loss. Ask me anything. Facebook Live event. We're talking about weight loss and answering your questions about that. And we're gonna talk about supplements today.
Yes.
As a specific topic as part of the whole weight loss thing. We're open today, as we always are. We will not be open. I said we're not always open on Monday because next Monday we're not. Next Monday and Tuesday we will not be open because we're recognizing the holiday.
Yeah.
So anyway, on most Mondays we're open with the exception of holidays like that.
Yeah.
Or unless the entire staff calls out sick. And unfortunately in 18 years that's not happened yet. So we're all good on that.
Yes. We're giving away a gift card.
Gift cards, right?
Yes.
So how do you? I mean, well, look, man, it's you got a good chance of winning this thing because it's not like 1,000 people attend these. 1,000 people end up watching them, but a lot of them can't attend live, so they watch them virtually later. How do you register to win the gift card?
If you are currently watching this live, we need you to do two things. We need you to like this video, and we want you to comment #SimonsAMA in the comment section, and then you will be eligible for a $25 Target gift card that we will draw a name for at the end of this show and give you details to get. So please let us know that you're here. Enroll in that gift card chance and then ask us questions if you want. That's what this is here. It's an Ask Me Anything. Susie's on it. Thank you, Susie.
That's right.
Appreciate it. Right now, Susie has a 100% chance
of winning. That's right. Yeah.
All right.
That's exactly right.
Let's dive into our questions.
Supplements. Start with Wilma. What do you say? Wilma wants to know, how long does it take for probiotics to work? Do they really help with keeping you regular? Which is the best variety to take? Hey, Wilma, that's not a question.
That's very.
That's several questions.
But they're all very good questions.
Those are good questions.
Probiotics are confusing. There's a lot on the market.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of maybe not as good ones. They really don't take that long to start working. A lot of people will notice within the first week usually. I mean, it's good to give it a month. I usually say the supplement, give it 30 days, see if you notice a benefit. If not, maybe don't continue, but if it does help, continue. And yes, they can help a lot with regularity. I have a lot of folks though who take our probiotics, for example, like we have an ultraflora control, which helps with weight loss. So probiotics like this, they could have different effects. So it's not just about regular bowel movements.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not as bloated. Maybe you don't have as many cravings. Maybe you're not as hungry. Maybe you don't have as much gas. Like there's a lot of other things that you could notice other than just, do you go to the bathroom every day or every other day? Wow. Which could also be a benefit. Wow. But this one's really good because of the weight loss associated with it.
That's right. So probiotics they're bacteria for those of you who don't know. So you as a host many living organisms in your gut.
Lots.
Okay. And so the theory and idea is that there should be a correct balance of those things. Saying bacteria is a little bit like saying the word, automobile.
Right. A lot of varieties.
Yeah, that's right. There's a lot of different kinds of automobiles, and the blend there in your gut matters. And so this is the problem with, for example, taking antibiotics all the time. You can kill off a lot of the better parts of the blend, and then you got problems.
Out of balance.
You see, that's right. You start getting diarrhea and all this other sort of thing. And look, the blend there's a constant, for just kind of a conceptual way to think about it, there is a constant war going on at the microbiology level, right? Of competition to who's going to live, who's going to die, who's going to dominate. And this matters with your immunity.
Yeah, big time.
This is a big concept from an immune standpoint. And you want the correct balance in there. One of the things, the people who regularly take these probiotics that we offer here will tell you is, I haven't been sick. And then they'll tell you for how long, right? And it really, there's something to that. The reason we like this Metagenics brand is they rigorously test their stuff. They don't test it. They bring in other people to test it, to prove that it is what they say it is. And these other vitamin companies are not required by law to do that, but Metagenics submits itself to that. And look, that's why it costs them more money, because they spend a lot of time developing that stuff. They have a blend, like you say, that they believe that blend of bacteria signals the body to lose weight.
Yeah.
And they have some evidence to support that.
Yeah.
And they've invested the money and time and effort in coming up with that. And so our patients really like it. They have an immune blend.
That's what this is.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
want to show you. Speaking of immunity, most of our immune system actually is in our gut. So it's very important that all these bacteria are in a good balance. And this one really helps for the immune portion of that to correct itself if it's off.
That's correct. Yeah. And so you do not need to keep it refrigerated. That is a question we commonly get.
Mm-hmm.
This one, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
And when they tell you there's X number of millions of units of stuff, that's on the day that it expires. And they test that. They don't just test it right at the beginning. They test it on the day that they say it expires
Mm-hmm.
to prove that it's got that many in there. It actually probably has more when you buy it from here. So because by the day it expires, that's when it has that many units, right? That's another unique thing about Metagenics, right?
Yeah.
So
Great one.
I think maybe asking yourself, why do I think I need this?
Yeah.
And then picking the variety then that you want, the immune, the ultraflora control, the weight control one.
Mhm. We also have a full
yeah.
spectrum one that
Yes.
doesn't have a specific purpose other than just overall digestive health.
Yeah.
We don't have that here, but it's something you can find in our offices or through Metagenics through our practice. And Metagenics is it's like a pharmaceutical grade, meaning that you're not going to walk into GNC, you're not going to walk into Vitamin Shop, you're not going to walk into Whole Foods and find this brand. It's going to be in medical offices like ours, but you can also buy it online through our practice. And I'll tell you, these make great gifts. Right? A lot of people need to be on probiotics of some sort. Digestive distress happens and the balance gets out because of standard American living, right? We don't always eat well. We don't always sleep enough.
That's
We
right.
don't always hydrate in the right way. And it's really important for all those little buggies in there for us to be healthy in order for them to be healthy. So when we have unhealthy behaviors, it creates a less healthy gut, not a more healthy gut. And you don't need a prescription for them. It's just something that is bought through a medical practice like ours. So you don't need to be a patient. You don't need to meet with us in order to try this. It's absolutely safe for anyone to take. There's not going to be a consequence. Just maybe it doesn't work for you. You try a different strain. That's okay.
Yeah. That's right. So you don't need a prescription for that. We do sell it in the office. You won't find these though at regular retail outlets.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, Jennifer from Cary. She's asking about CBD. She says, when taking CBD, are you able to take more than one at a time? For example, can you combine the Rest with a full spectrum CBD on a regular basis?
I do this every day.
Yes.
I
yes.
mix and match
Yes.
like crazy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally
so
safe.
we do have the full, so just for as a matter of review, for those of you who do not know, the hemp plant, most of you think, when they hear CBD, they think, oh, marijuana, right? No, marijuana is a type of hemp plant that has a lot of a type of oil there called delta-9 tetrahydrocannabidiol or delta-9 THC. That is the oil that has the the effects on your central nervous system that you associate with people getting high and stuff like that, right? But the hemp plant there's plenty of hemp plants that don't have all that in there. Okay, that's what we're talking about. And so a hemp plant with little or no THC still has 119 other oils in there. And those oils, when you put them all in the bottle there, we call that full spectrum CBD.
Get all of it.
Right, that's right. Yeah, so you get all the 119 oils and they have various medicinal properties. So you mentioned in here Rest, and there's another one that we have here called Move. And the idea there is that you start to manipulate the concentrations of a particular oil. What's happening is that we've discovered now that certain of these oils have more potent effects on certain things than others. So the Rest has more CBN. They put extra CBN. That is the little initial for a much longer name of the type of oil in there. And the CBN is the oil that makes you relax and go to sleep and stay to sleep. So they take the full spectrum CBD, they add some extra CBN, you call it Rest. I happen to take this several times a week, and it's fantastic in terms of sleep. I don't feel groggy the next day. I sleep great. I get into a deep sleep, and I feel like I've slept longer than I actually have slept. Now, the Move, I like the Move too. I'm not a fan of taking these over-the-counter pain relievers because they give me heartburn and stuff like that. But the Move is the full spectrum CBD oil with a higher concentration of the oil called CBG. That is the anti-inflammatory the most anti-inflammatory oil in that hemp plant. And so you could take both of those on the same day.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's really, you'd have to drink a gigantic bottle of the stuff, like the size of a bottle of olive oil from the store, to even start talking this realm of toxicity.
Yeah.
And that would be so expensive that you would think, man,
Cost
if I was
prohibitive.
trying to make myself toxic, yeah, it's a
Not the way
cost
to do
prohibitive
it.
way to do
It's
it.
not the way to do
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you can take those on the same day.
Mhm.
It's not a problem. We even have the Rest formulated, by the way, as a gummy for those of you who don't like the oil. And I find that it makes a nice dessert about 9 o'clock. I take 1 or 2 of those.
Blueberry and acai
Yeah,
flavor.
that's right.
Yeah, they're good.
It tastes good, and I can chew 2 of those. I sit down in the chair, watch something other than a newscast, which generally would make me angry, and I'll fall asleep. And when I kind of fall asleep in the chair, I get up and go to bed.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Fall right back
So
to sleep.
30 to 45 minutes later.
Thank
Yeah.
you everyone for joining us. We're doing our bi-weekly Ask Me Anything at Dr. Simon's Metabolics and Weight Loss. We're here to answer your questions live as well as questions that you've sent in. Today we're talking about supplements. So we have
Yep.
some on display. We have some great questions that have been sent in. We also are giving away a Target gift card. So if you have not entered, we need you to do 2 things. Okay, we need you to like this video and hashtag Simon's AMA. I see Van has entered, and I think I saw Lauren had entered as well. So we got a good chance going here. So thanks for everyone who's here and who's going to watch this as a recording.
Yes.
Right.
Fun.
I will say too, before we move on from the CBD, Jennifer, I have even done in the evening if I have like a slight headache and I know I need to sleep and not have a headache or aches and pains or something like that. I'll do like a quarter of a dropper of the move and a quarter of a dropper of the rest. So it's not like you can only do them separate times a day. I will even combine them sometimes at the same time under my tongue because I want a little bit extra of that CBG for the inflammation, and I want some CBN to just help me relax. And it's also something like Doc said, you can do a couple of times a week.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it every day in order for it to work. When you take it, it works great. And when you don't, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's not in your system.
Yeah,
No big
that's
deal.
right. That's exactly right. It's no brainer.
Yes. So Valerie from Durham is next. She's asking, what product do you recommend most to help with sleep? Oh, I have a long list. We actually just went over one of the main
That's right.
ones, though.
That's right. We talked about the Rest.
Mm-hmm.
The Rest is good, but it's not the only thing.
No,
There's some other things out there. You don't have, for a lot of people, they don't have to take a prescription sleep medication. I mean, that may be warranted, but in most cases, it's not.
Right.
If you'll try some of these other things, and maybe you have to try a few things to get the one that's right for you.
Mm-hmm. Or a combination
Yeah.
sometimes of supplements.
That's correct.
For me, I will sometimes need melatonin, and I frequently take magnesium. Magnesium is also something we sell in the practice, and Metagenics has a really great quality of magnesium citrate, which helps with sleep and relaxation and constipation, which is a real bonus, right? And then magnesium glycinate is something I recommend a lot for sleep. It's something I take myself. It's available over the counter, magnesium in all its forms. There are some poorly absorbed forms of magnesium that are really just meant to flush out your gut. But the magnesium glycinate is not a form that should give you diarrhea. I usually recommend 400 to 800 milligrams in the evening, and it comes in either powder or tablet or capsule form. That's pretty easy to find.
Yeah.
So that's one of my go-tos.
Yeah, right. Another one I have recommended over the years to people is valerian root.
Mhm.
And
I've used that.
yeah, so as the tea, it kind of tastes not so good. So you got to jazz it up, but they do sell it in capsules too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, I don't have a particular brand necessarily that I recommend, but it really helps with relaxation and sleep for a lot of my patients. And so it's another supplement that you could take and try.
Yeah.
And like you say, maybe you need to try 2 or 3.
Yeah.
This is why they call medicine a practice, by the way.
Yes.
You have to,
It's an
there's
art.
a little, that's right. There's a little guessing involved.
Yeah.
So valerian root tea. Valerian root tea. I'm not a big fan of the tea just because of the taste. I have too many patients that get mad at me about the taste. So they tend to like the capsules better.
Yeah. They do have other teas, like bedtime tea and sleepy time tea.
Yes, that's right.
Those will usually have a blend of flavors that can be a little bit better tolerated. I think a lot of people are familiar with melatonin. We have a lot of patients who take melatonin.
I will sometimes recommend melatonin. Usually if it's trouble initiating sleep, I'll recommend like 1 to 3 milligrams of melatonin. Usually super high doses aren't necessary.
Okay, correct.
So I like the lower doses. I like to recommend you take it about an hour before you're getting ready to go to bed. And simultaneously, when you are going to take something like the Rest or melatonin or the other supplements like magnesium, you also want to like turn the lights off, start relaxation times. Again, not watch the news, not have all the lights blaring. Like sleep hygiene is really important. And when there's light coming into our eyes, we're not making melatonin, because when the sun's up, we make cortisol. When the sun's down, we make melatonin. So we have to make sure we're practicing, good like wind down routines at night and keeping the lights low and not engaging in conversations or television shows or social media things that are going to rev us up somehow, because that's going to make it a lot harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. And we may need to look at the medications you're taking too that could be impacting your sleep negatively. We do prescribe a medication for weight loss called phentermine, and then other stimulants like phentermine that sometimes can have an impact on sleep. Usually it's just in the beginning when you first start, and it gets much, much better just with a little bit of time. But sometimes we'll recommend things like the valerian or melatonin in the beginning, just to make sure that you're able to kind of come down and relax after you've had that stimulation throughout the day. Luckily, phentermine works so well, and drugs like it, a lot of people are absolutely willing and able to work through that sleep thing, with help and with just time. But good question, Valerie. Let's talk about Barbara's question.
Barbara says, is it better to take supplements or vitamins in the morning or the evening? For example, I've heard that it's best to avoid taking D in the evening. Is this true?
I haven't heard that.
I haven't heard that either.
I've never heard that. I would love, if you are watching this live, post that. I would love to know that. While there are supplements that may be better to take earlier in the day, right? There are certain adaptogens, right, which are either herbs or sometimes medicinal mushrooms that can be a bit more activating. Lion's mane is a mushroom, for instance, that is more activating and energizing, helps with focus. That wouldn't be something that you would take before bed. But there's not that many where you really have to make sure you're timing it. Often I tell people, when it doesn't matter with a medication or supplement, the best time to take it is when you're going to remember to take it. And if it's something that could upset your stomach, you want to take it with food. And one example of that is zinc. Zinc is great for the immune system. It's a mineral that we all really need more of, but it can cause some pretty bad nausea. I experienced that myself. So zinc is something I will only take with a meal.
Yeah.
Multivitamins usually have minerals like zinc in them. So often people will take their multivitamin with a meal, but I don't find most multivitamins, as long as they're not like a caffeine, energizing type of vitamin, you should be able to take it with breakfast or with dinner and not have a problem. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm generally in agreement with everything you said. As to the timing, I just wonder about the veracity of any evidence.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, it's a little bit of a guessing game.
Yeah.
And what works for one person maybe doesn't necessarily work for another.
True.
So
yeah.
I don't know that there's any hard and fast rules about that.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't really matter about the hard and fast rules for everybody, because I'm not treating everybody. I treat you.
It works for you.
That's right.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's about in the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if you take your supplements in the evening and they keep you awake at night, for example, I'd take them in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's good.
That's right.
It's a very
If
good
you
point.
take it in the morning and the day goes better, take them in the morning.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Anyway, that's kind of I'm kind of that way. If I take Benadryl, man, it puts me to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
If I take Sudafed, which isn't supposed to put you to sleep in the daytime, guess what? It puts me to sleep. So I don't take it in the daytime, right? I just have to violate the rule. I take that at night if I need to take it, right? Yeah.
So your reaction may be a little different. So it's
Yeah.
best to experiment. It's an N equals 1 experiment. You are the only participant, so you just get to figure it out.
That's
Okay?
right. That's right. Yeah.
But yeah, as far as vitamin D, I literally have never heard that.
Right.
I generally take vitamin D just whenever, right? Like with a meal usually, because that's what I'm taking other supplements. Vitamin D though is unique We have our D3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vitamin D3 is unique in that being that it's a fat soluble vitamin, which is different than something like a B vitamin or a vitamin C, which you do have to take every single day in order to continue to get benefit. Vitamin D, because it's fat soluble, it hangs around longer.
Yeah.
So you really only have to take a dose once a week, but it has to still be the same dose that you would have taken if you took it every day. So for instance, this is 5,000. A lot of folks need to be on 5,000 a day. But some people say, I don't want to remember to take something every day. And I say, okay, put an alarm on your calendar every Sunday. You take 7. They're tiny little gel caps,
That's right? Yeah,
or you take
exactly.
3 on Saturday and you take 4 on Sunday. Super easy. Or if you meant to take it every day, and it's Wednesday and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't take it yesterday or the day before, you take Mondays, you take Tuesdays, you take Wednesdays, you take all 3, right? So supplements like vitamin D are a lot more flexible in that. So not so much the time of day like you asked about, but you can take it less frequently as long as you're still taking an appropriate dose of it.
Yeah, I like vitamin D.
Yeah, I do too.
It's good for a lot of things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and in the office we have a D3, just a high dose of vitamin D3. We also have a D3 with K2, and I like that one, especially for women who have osteoporosis, and they really need to make sure that their bones are getting strong with the vitamin D, helping the calcium get into the bones. So there are some variations in vitamin K2. It's just another fat soluble vitamin that is good to do when you also are on vitamin D3. You want to talk about Taylor's question?
Yeah, Taylor asked, are there any supplements specifically recommended for male health? And I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of underwhelmed with male supplements, okay? I just don't feel like that they're advertised, as the fix of all male problems. And I believe that testosterone fixes a lot of male problems. And so getting bioidentical testosterone is good for a lot of males. I do not feel like I have yet to see a supplement which really significantly raises it to the point that the patient actually notices something.
Yeah.
So I've tried those things. Do I look cut up to you? Do I look like I'm going to be on the front cover of Muscle and Fitness magazine? No. All right. So I'm not in a position to recommend a particular brand. These things we're talking about. A lot of males don't think, they think, well, they're thinking in terms of male. Well, look, if you're sick all the time and stuff like that, right? What kind of male are you?
Yeah.
So things like these probiotics and that vitamin D make a difference.
Yeah.
And the quality of your life is a whole lot better.
Absolutely.
And look, if you have low testosterone, there's ways to correct that, and there's specialists in this area who do that. And if you'll ask us, we can tell you about those folks and where to go, who to go see, and that sort of thing. And then your testosterone gets elevated, right, to where it should be. And that's true for females too. Females make testosterone. They should have a certain amount. If they don't have enough, it needs to be supplemented. It makes the quality of their life a whole lot better.
Yeah.
So anyway, I will say that as far as, estrogen and progesterone and the idea of approaching menopause and the symptoms that come as those decline, there are what I think some effective supplements in this arena, okay? Because plants have those in there, those particular molecules in there. You don't find plants that have testosterone, but you do find plants that have estrogen and progesterone in there, bioidentical estrogen and progesterone. So Metagenics does have a product called Estravera, which has been very well received by my patients. And so if you're having the hot flashes and the difficulty sleeping and moodiness and various, I can't tell you how many people have told me this stuff absolutely stone cold stops that, but it comes from plants that have those compounds in there, you see. And there aren't plants that have the testosterone in there like that.
Yeah. And this is actually Francine's question, our last question. Francine from Raleigh asked us, are there any specific vitamins I should be taking post-menopause? And
that may be one of them. If you're still experiencing symptoms related to perimenopause or menopause, this Estravera, I have had everyone who's tried it really, really swear
That's
by
right.
it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling my sister, I'm telling my mom, I'm telling it, because it really does work. And it's not soy. So
Yeah.
a lot of the natural compounds out there that you can buy over the counter, that's when you Google how to, help with menopause, a lot of it is going to be soy-based. This is not, okay? So it's a little bit different, but it works so well. You take one at night, so 30, 60 minutes before bedtime.
That's right.
And it helps so much with sleep. And you can safely combine, right? If you're really on the struggle bus with sleep, you could do some rest gummies, and then you could take an Estravera, and then maybe take a little magnesium, right? Just to be sure that you are getting a good quality sleep, so you wake up and tackle
You're
the day.
going to sleep.
You're going to sleep.
Yeah.
You're going to sleep. Yeah, for sure. And a lot of our stuff can be taken in combination. We even have, back to Taylor's question, not specifically for male health, but men, just like women, really should be on some kind of supplements. And we have a core 4 that we sell, where it is the multivitamin, which is a extremely high quality phytomulti. So these are versions of vitamins and minerals that our body can actually absorb and use. You will find so many synthetic
That's right.
forms of vitamins and minerals on the market, and don't need to say names, but a lot of the ones that have commercials, a lot of the ones that you can get for really cheap at the big box stores, they are not going to be the quality of this, not even close. So the core 4 includes that phytomulti, great multivitamin, man, woman, regardless of age. And then the core 4 also includes our vitamin D, right, which is really, really important. We also have an omega-3, and fish oil is important for inflammation, for heart health, right? Many of us are not eating 3 servings of salmon or cod a week.
I know. Many of you are eating 3 servings of spaghetti instead. We're going to try to get you to stop that.
But fish oil is really, really good for things like cholesterol and heart health and brain health and everything. So that's part of our core 4. And then our full spectrum probiotic will round out the 4th item, which we don't have right here. I think we sold out of them because they're very, very popular. But it's just that full spectrum probiotic that we were talking about earlier. It doesn't specifically help with any one purpose. It just kind of is overall really great for digestive health. And we do a discount on that package. If you wanted to get all 4 of those items, it will be a very significant discount versus buying each of them individually. And you can call, and ask, if we have stuff in stock, or like I said, you can buy this stuff through our website. If you go to our website, go to resources, there'll be the MetaGenetics right there. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we have an extra question. Is there one supplement or nutrient many people can't get enough of? Like overdose on? Oh.
Yeah. So just the fat soluble vitamins that Michelle talked about, you can in theory get too much of that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes, this is true.
Yeah, there is a toxicity. It doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, and that's vitamin A, D, E, K.
Okay, so you can remember that by the mnemonic, all dogs eat kids. And so all dogs eat kids, A, D, E, and K. You have to be careful when you take those. You can't just, bring out your shotgun and start firing the stuff down. But all the other vitamins are water soluble.
Yes.
As long as your kidneys are functioning okay, it's going to get out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Your B vitamins, your C vitamins.
B, C, B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, B12, vitamin C. These things are all okay. You can load up as much as you want with no fears of anything.
Yeah.
The other ones, if you have specific A, D, E, and K, all dogs eat kids. If you have questions about those, you need to ask us about how much. Okay,
yeah,
we can help you with that.
Things like magnesium. Really, the body is so good with magnesium specifically, where if you do take too much, your gut will just release it, and that's why some of the forms are used for constipation, right? Or can cause diarrhea, because the body is really good at saying, I think I've hit my limit. The rest of this is just getting flushed out. So magnesium is one that a lot of people, I tell them, when you start something like magnesium citrate, which is better for constipation, or magnesium glycinate, and we have the mag citrate pills here, which are great. But you basically start at that like 400, and then you go up, and then you go up again, especially the mag citrate. You kind of just keep going up until you get loose stools, and then you pull back, and that's how you know what your dose is. So it works really, really well.
All right, we have a winner.
Yeah, our winner for the $25 Target gift card is Lisa. Thank you so
Lisa.
much for everyone for entering. Congratulations, Lisa. We will be in touch with you about getting you that $25 Target gift card. Thank you for everyone who entered and who attended live. Thanks for watching. Remember, we're closed next
That's
Monday
right.
and
Closed
Tuesday.
Next Monday and Tuesday. We want everyone to have a wonderful 4th.
Yes.
Enjoy the holiday, everybody, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.